Hey guys, what's up? I just wanted to kick off my day with a little sort of vlog updates. First one of the off season, and just sort of kind of go over like how the training is going, how the reverse dieting is going, and I guess restate my plans for the off season a little bit. So I guess the reverse diet, as many of you have seen, I actually have lost in terms of just scale weights about 2 pounds from my pre-contest low. No, sorry, about 3 pounds now. So I got to 169.6 the other day, 77.1 kilos, and that was pretty crazy. In terms of fat, like it seems to have gone down by around the same amount. You know, scale weight and fat loss don't always sort of mean the same thing, but in this case I'm sure it's not just water moving around, because I have looked more crisp and more shredded actually than before the show. But you know, I don't regret that I didn't give myself more time to diet for the show. I mean, it's just sort of a learning for next time. In fact, in some ways it's sort of like taking the class without having to do the test, because there's no pressure. I'm just sort of learning things about my body in a very relaxed sort of kind of environment time-wise, because it's just sort of like, oh, this is what happens when I, diet with enough time and start raising calories. I actually keep losing fat in quite significant amounts. So that's pretty cool. As of this morning, my low day macros are now up to 250 grams of protein and carbs and 65 grams of fat, putting me at just under 2,600 calories, so that's pretty decent considering that 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, I was on 1,700 calories. And in addition to that, my cardio volume is now capped at 400 calories a week, and Eric wants me to do that in a HIIT format, so I'm probably going to start mixing it up with some sprints, maybe some calisthenics, jumping jacks, stuff like that, just for variety, and also, just to keep it fun. So in addition to the extra food, I'm doing, like, compared to 2,600 calories weekly cardio volume, I'm not only doing 400, so as you can see, the net energy increase is pretty damn high, so that's pretty good. I'm still feeling, unfortunately, pretty dieted, but that makes sense seeing as I'm still lean, and some days even getting leaner. So I still have all the issues, I guess, with low body fat to some extent, although it has actually, sort of 5 days ago, for a couple of days, I had some real hunger, like, kind of like end of diet hunger. But in the last couple of days it's improved a little bit, so I'm thinking that, and also I've had a couple of good training sessions in the past couple of days, so I'm starting to think that maybe my body is getting kind of used to being lean, which is not to say that I'm afraid of putting on fluff or that I want to stay this lean, but it's sort of like it's rebounding. It's like we kind of maybe have hit the lowest point and it's starting to get better, so that's good stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the diet part of the reverse diet. Training wise, like I said, I had a couple of good sessions, a good upper hypertrophy and lower hypertrophy workout this week. And I attribute that partially to the fact that I moved my refeed forward by a day, which is something I didn't do during prep. I always thought it was a good idea to refeed on the day of the hardest workout, but actually doing it the day before seemed to work quite nicely, because on Friday I actually woke up feeling like a piece of ass grease. And but just the fact that I had refed the day before allowed me to have a really good workout, despite feeling tired as hell all morning, and thinking it was just going to be terrible. So that's good. I'm going to keep that going forward. So that means today is a refeed instead of tomorrow, and hopefully that'll mean that I get a good upper power session in, because the barbell pressing has been quite tricky lately. For some reason I'm feeling great under the dumbbells when it comes to pressing, but as soon as I get under a bar, it's just like, this doesn't feel right. But hopefully we'll start to see some improvement tomorrow. And yeah, I mean, hopefully within a few more weeks I'll start to sort of get to close to my old numbers. My goals for the end of the year are to hit a 500 deadlift, which I'm pretty confident I can do. A 220 plus bench, 100 kilos, kind of the milestone. But ideally 230 to 240. 70 kilo or 154 overhead press. That could be tricky, but I think I might get that too. And of course the squat 370 to 380. Squatting this week was really tricky. I think in terms of like exercise that got worse affected by the change in leverages due to getting lean was probably my squat, because even with a belt it just still doesn't feel quite right when I load it up. But I think that's just, that's gonna get better over the next couple of weeks. This week is actually deadlift focused on my lower power days, so I think my deadlift is actually feeling really good right now, so I think that's gonna be a good workout. In terms of other training aspects, not much to say really. I mean, I'm just trying to get back into the sort of the fat progression schemes as much as possible now. I want to get rid of RPT fairly soon, reverse pyramid training, and get back into the sets of cross progression that fat uses. Just sort of get out of the dieting training and into off-season progression training, really. Yeah, that's really about it for now. I am definitely enjoying eating more, having the increased macros and the variety, in food choices. Although I'd say one thing that prep did to me was that it made me quite comfortable with sort of eating the same thing day in and day out, which is something I think I actually had maybe a slight problem with, admittedly, before. Like, I always had to have something different every day. And to some extent I do. I mean, like, I don't ever have the same meals day in and day out, but there are certainly things that I routinely use. And I think it was definitely in those last sort of 4 or 5 weeks of prep that I learned that lesson, that it's okay to do that, because, it just makes you less stressed about food. And, at the same time, it takes a lot of time to be constantly cooking in the kitchen, so it's good to just have a few meals that you can just bang out and, if they taste good, they satisfy you, and they, hit your macros. It's all good. Macros aside, I've become pretty flexible with things, like, I've had a few free meals, probably have one maybe tonight or tomorrow with the family. Essentially, they're just social occasions where I just don't give a shit, really. Like, I just say, oh, okay, that's going to be 800,000 calories, and leave it at that, and just fit in and just eat normally as I would for the rest of the day. Seems to be working okay. And also, little, like, I've already done away with like little bodybuilder OCD things, like weighing bread and where in some cases where products are similar to what I already have in my custom database from the UK, like, I'll just use the macros for that, rather than have like 5 different types of macros for ketchup, for example. I'll just use whatever ketchup I have from home. It's like little things like that. I'm not stressing about small fluctuations in intake here and there, because it all evens out in the long run. And that level of precision is just not needed anymore, thankfully. So yeah, that's been good. And more than anything, I'm just loving about off-season having the extra free time to just chill out, relax, not have to do 600 calories of cardio on the bike every day or 3 days a week. That's pretty good stuff. So yeah, that pretty much ticks all the boxes for now. Hopefully I'll do another one of these in a few weeks. The end of August, I am heading over to San Francisco for a couple of weeks, family vacation. So I'll probably get one in before then. I'm really looking forward to that. Not just because San Francisco is a sick place for eating, apparently, but also it's going to be an opportunity to meet some people from the 3DMJ family. So that should be pretty awesome. And anyone in the area that's watching this not affiliated with 3DMJ wants to meet up, just let me know, and maybe we can arrange it. Alright, so thanks for all the support, guys, and keep lifting that iron. Take care.